Hello my friends, thanks for stopping by. I hope you're all having a great day. Today I come to you with the under 10, everything must be under $10 tag. I believe that Tati started this. It's really just a drugstore tag, but anyway, everything that you will see on you see me use today is going to be $10 or less, and it should be a fun video. Some products I've had in my arsenal, and some I had to go out and get because I didn't have some items, like I didn't have eyeshadows and stuff like that. But anyway, this is the look that I got from Drugstore. As you can see, you do not need high-end anything when it comes to makeup. You just need the skill and the technique. That is it. And you can achieve anything you want with drugstore makeup. All right? So I hope you enjoy this. Okay, so the first step I did was e.l.f.'s Poreless Primer. It's just a creamy primer. I'll put a little bit more on my nose area and forehead. I like to give my primer a little time to set and relax, you know. Alright, so the foundation that I have chosen for today is a Rimmel Match Perfection. I will put all of the names and colors listed below so that we're not here forever. I'm going to give it a good shake. I'm going to apply it with the Real Technique sponge because, you know, everything has to be under $10. And my hands are very slippery now from the primer, but I'm going to go ahead and just shake that foundation up, put a dot on my forehead, put a dot on my cheeks, some in my mouth. Okay, so that is the foundation. Now let's just go along with the Real Technique. I've had this sponge for a while. I've had this foundation for a while. I have a mirror in front of me that I will be looking down. I thought I would give this a go. If you've been watching me for a long time, you know that this is where I started out, in this spot right here. My first video was. And the only reason I'm here today is because the sunlight gets in the way of tutorials. So I'm in front of my vanity mirror, which is blocked by the camera and the stand, but I wanted to do it so you get a real true look of the colors, because the sunlight sometimes washes them out, and with my hot flashes I cannot do them in the back bedroom where I was doing a lot of my videos before. I'm going to go right over my eyes with this a little bit because I'm not going to be using a primer. I'm going to use a concealer, but let me get my handy dandy little hand mirror here and make sure that I've got it all blended in. It's a very nice foundation. Alright, so the next one is going to be the Maybelline Dream Lumi. This is the Radiance one. Again, all the colors and the products will be listed below. And I'm just going to put a little dab where my darkness is, because my darkness has to be concealed before, has to be corrected before I conceal. And I'm going to do a little bit right here because I get very dark on the upper eye too. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take my fingers. I'll be using my fingers for a lot of this. And I'm just going to dab that around my darkness. I'm not really bringing it up underneath my eyes, but I'm going to dab underneath the dark a little bit because I do have some darkness, always when I'm doing a video. Okay, I have taken the phone off the hook so we don't run into that problem. As I was saying, I'm just patting this underneath the eye, and I'm just going to blend it throughout this area where I'm darkest, and then I'll go over this with concealer. Same on this side where all my darkness is. Bring my mirror up to make sure that I'm covering everything good. Okay, so there is that. Again, that was Maybelline's Dream Lumi Radiance. For the concealer, I actually like this concealer. I've been using this for a while. In Florida, this is all I use, just because it's so easy. It's the Rimmel Match Perfection 245 Light. I find that the colors are a little dark in this one, so I go with the light, because normally I'm a medium underneath there. I hope I got some left for this tutorial. I use it so much. I do. Okay, it's coming out. All right, so I'm going to put some of that here. And on this side, I'm going to squeeze some more out because I really want to. Okay. There we go. That beeping you hear is the phone because I took it off the hook. It'll go away in a minute. Okay. Now I'm going to take the Real Technique sponge. I'm going to give it an extra little squeeze with some tissue just to get some of that moisture out of there. I always dampen it, but I'm going to go ahead and conceal. You just want to pat, you don't want to rub. Okay, and then I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to rub it in the top, or pat it in. I have to concentrate now, that phone distracted me. And just make sure that you've got it everywhere you want it, and then just take the sponge and we're going to lightly soften all those edges. I do like this concealer though. Like I said though, go a shade lighter than you are. I find that the shades are a little dark. So I'm just going to go ahead, soften any lines out of there. So now I'm going to set my under eye. I'm going to use an Eco Tool brush, and for the first time I'm going to try baking with the Maybelline Fit Me powder, pressed powder. I couldn't find a loose powder that I thought would work, so we're going to see how this is, okay? So I'm going to make sure that I have no lines gathering, and then I'm just going to tap that powder underneath my eye. I'm going to pick up a little more of it. You'll have to do it a little bit more when you're using the pressed powder. Loose powder is ideal for this. Okay, so I have set that eye. I'm going to go in, pick up some more of that powder for this eye. Make sure I have no lines, and then I'm just going to go ahead and powder underneath the eye. I'm going to pick up a little more and really powder that well. It's a little light, I can see, but we are doing everything for under $10. All right, so now I'm going to just make sure I have no heavy crease. Take some of this powder and we'll set the top lid. Beautiful. Okay, so now we have gone ahead and powdered underneath the eye. Now I'm going to take the Real Technique powder brush with that same powder, and I'm just going to pick some up. I'm going to really load it up good, and then I'm going to tap a little, and I'm just going to pat it on. Okay, so now I'm going to take this brush and I'm just going to go ahead and sweep over my eyes. Good sweep underneath. Next thing, I'm going to take the Real Technique brush into the NYC bronzing powder in Sunny. And I'm going to go ahead and just load my brush up with it, tap it off, and I'm just going to put some bronzing powder. I like this bronzing powder. I've had it for a while. But okay, so I have gone ahead and bronzed up. Sometimes I just use it as the blush. I don't even bother with a blush. All right. All right, I'm going to go on my forehead area. You can always narrow this brush out just by turning it on its side and just going like that instead of doing the whole brush, because it may be too much. All right, so now I'm going to take it and I'm going to go under my jawline and just down my neck a little bit just to marry my face and my cheeks together and my neck. There we go. Okay, so there's my bronzer. I bought this Almay. And this one is the Intense Eye Color, but it has all the bronze shades to it. It doesn't really have a base for me to start with, so I am going to go ahead and use one NYX eyeshadow that I did have. And again, I will list everything below. So now, all right, so I'm going to take that NYX shadow, and I'm going to use a Morphe 441 brush, M441. These brushes are like $5. I'm going to just tip it into the NYX shadow, tap it off, and then I'm just going to use that as my transition crease color before I use the Almay. Just because it didn't really give me a matte, and I always use a matte for my transition color, always. It's just giving you a wash of color there. But these you got to use a little bit more. Tap it off or you're going to get a lot of fallout. Okay, so now I've got my transition set. All right, I'm going to go over and do the other eye. I turned the air down to like, it's cool out today, but the air wasn't kicking on because it's, you know, fall weather is hitting us. I think it was like 48 this morning. So, and the high today is only like 56, I think. But the house, I still get too hot. So I turned the air down to like 70. So it would kick on while I'm doing it. There's an air vent right here, right next to me that's just blowing on me. So it really will help me if this turns out to do tutorials sitting right here. Because I just sweat through them all. All right, so we're gonna go, well, I'm gonna actually take this shadow and I'm gonna take, this is a Sonia Kashuk. No, this is an e.l.f., another e.l.f. brush, and it's like a little flat brush. I'm just gonna take some of that shadow and I'm gonna tap it up and I'm gonna run underneath my eye with it. And working up on the edges. I have to tell myself this is not a tutorial, not a tutorial. All right, so now I'm going to take, I'm going to work with my finger first. I'm going to take the first color here, which is like a peachy tone. I have no idea what these shadows are like, but what's looking like on my fingers is a whole lot of fallout. So I'm going to definitely use my fingers. And I'm just going to pack that onto my lid. I don't know, Carrie Underwood, are you really wearing these shadows? All right, let's see. I'm gonna really pack it on good, because you can always go in and soften it down. Okay. And I'm gonna put that on the whole lid area. Go over and do the other side. Let me look with my mirror and make sure it's building up enough. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, it's got a lot of glitter to it. I didn't realize that. We'll make it work, my friends. We will make this work. Okay, I'm going to put some more. I'm glad I had that matte. They don't look as sparkly in the package. Okay, so there we have it, the lid color. Now I am actually going to go old-fashioned style. I bought these from e.l.f. These are those little sponge tip applicators. Because I wasn't familiar with this eyeshadow at all, I thought I would just go ahead and use one of these. I'm going to dip it into the brown. Yeah, it's like a little suede ball when you touch it. You know how it pills up? Yeah, there's a lot of fallout here. So you want to make sure that you really, if you're going to go with the Almay, you tap that baby out. Because look at all the, let me see if that'll focus without my eyes out of the way. You can see all that fallout there. But we're going to pick that up, get a lot of color on your sponge, and then we're going to go old style, okay? So we're going to just go ahead. I'm going to pack that color on to the outer corner. There's not a lot of color payoff to these shadows. Oh, Carrie, why do you lie to us? Okay, not too bad once you start building it up. Not too bad. Okay, take that. You gotta have your powder brush with you at all times to brush it away. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up a little bit more because I really want to intensify that color a little bit. Tap it off. And I'm just kind of tapping in a V shape and going right in my crease right here. You see that? Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Tap that off. Just have to work slowly with it, and you just have to pack it on, and it works. Yeah, it's okay. But you do have to go ahead and sweep away the excess. All right, so I'm going to make sure that they're even. Let me look. That brush, that little sponge pad, and I'm just going to lightly touch underneath my eyes with it and kind of smoke it out. Don't add any more shadow to it. And just smoke it underneath the eye. And wipe that brush away, that fallout away. Same thing on the other side. Just kind of use what you got left on the brush and run it all the way across. I'm sorry that I have to turn away at times to see. I can try it here. Yeah, there we go. You see I'm just smoking it out on the edge there. Okay, so now there is a black in here, and you know that I do not use blacks, but for this video purpose and using just all the shadow that's in there, I'm going to touch this. I'm not even going to rub it, I'm just touching it. And I'm going to put some of this just on the closest to my lash line as I can get in the corner. And I'm going to flare up with it just slightly. Okay. I'm not going to build that up into anything. I'm just putting that dark tone right like a little liner. That is a matte. Okay. Okay, and then without adding any more, just take that on the outer part and flare it up. Okay, so that's it for the eyeshadow. I'm going to take the brush and just clean it up again. Alright, so now the same thing for the eyebrows. I did not have an eyebrow pencil, so I bought the Maybelline. Is it Maybelline? Yeah, the Maybelline Brow Define Fill Duo. I probably won't use the powder end of it, but we'll see. And I bought the soft brown, but I don't know how that color is. So I'm just going to take, this is just one of those little mascara wands. Buy them in a pack for like $2 at Sally's. And I'm just going to brush my eyebrows up. You probably get 50 in the pack. So I'll brush them all the way up. And now I will try my hardest to put this on. I'll do this side, because then you'll be able to see. Alright, so I'm just going to go in light strokes, because I have no idea what this pencil is going to do. Okay. Okay. I got it. Not bad. I've been doing something a little different with my eyebrows, though, because I was reading that there's a new trend, and it also helps to soften the eyebrow or thicken it up a little. On the bottom, I've been going right across almost in a straight line and not really following the arch. So as you can see, I'm going up, filling in as I go along. Now I'm very narrow right there, so I have to use a mirror. I'm sorry. Let me fill that in. That's my bald spot. But see, I'm not going with my actual, I'm actually dragging it just a little bit down. And it helps to really change the eyebrow look. You see? Now it looks like a caterpillar on my face. I'm going to do the other one. Okay, there's the eyebrows. I'm going to go back in with that little spoolie. And I'm going to go ahead and just brush through to soften them. I don't find that I need to go back in with that powder that's on the other end. It's a dual. I'll show you it though. It has a sponge tip applicator, and you know, as you do it, it would put the powder on and leave it behind, but I don't really, I don't like powdery stuff. Okay, next up is a Revlon pencil. It's the Revlon Luminous color, and it's in suede brown. I've used this for many years. I'm going to go ahead and lift up, and I'm going to just run along the waterline, the tight line, all the way into the tear duct area. Make sure that I'm getting really close to the lashes. When you're doing it, your lashes should be moving with you, okay? Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just really go all the way into my tear duct area. And just really rub into those lashes, okay? All right, so there is my tight line. Now if you wanted to do waterline you could. I'm not going to for this look. Alright, so now I did buy some blushes by e.l.f. and I was really kind of surprised. I've not tried them. But I did get the dark, and unfortunately they're all in the peachy, the rose tone, so I'm going to try to use this one and hopefully it'll fall into the flow of the look. But yeah, I'm going to try that, and I am going to go ahead and use this Real Technique brush, and I'm just going to touch the tip of it into it. And because I'm not familiar with this, I'm going to tap it on my hand first. Okay, it's not bad. And I'm just going to touch it on my cheek for a little added bonus of color. Oh, it's actually not bad at all. Gives you just the right amount. And then I'm going to touch that same brush on, and I'm just going to lightly brush over my eyes, just so it kind of brings them together. Okay. All right, so the next step I'm going to add a little highlighter. I did do the e.l.f. I've had this for a while, the bronze, and they're all very light shades. I actually showed them in a video of favorite bronzers. I'm going to take I'm going to run the brush across these two on the top. There's like a gold and a peachy tone. I'm going to tap it off a little bit. I'm just using an e.l.f. concealer brush, and I'm just going to lightly apply to the top of my cheekbones, just to give myself a little bit of highlight. And then I'm going to take my powder brush and I'm just going to soften that into the blush and the bronzer. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is my lips, but I want to deepen my lips for fall, so I'm going to end up using my Maybelline lipstick that I wear all the time, 628 Peach Me, and I'm going to tie it in with a Rimmel liner that is much more brown. So I'm going to really play with the liner and create a new lipstick color, because that's how I like to do it. So this one here is by Rimmel, and this is Cafe au Lait, number 45, and we're just going to go ahead and put it on. It's kind of in the burnt orange family. I got a little wild right here. Okay, so now I'm going to I did a video on this about a month ago, how I changed my fall lipsticks. Okay. Okay. And then I'm just going to run my lip along it. And it just deepens the lipstick a little bit. Now I'm going to use my mascara, which I cannot do on camera, you all know that. But I am going to be using the Almay, it's called the Almay One Coat Thickening Mascara. It has your old-fashioned kind of wand. I believe one of you told me about this, and I've been using it for a while, with a Revlon lash curler. So I will be back as soon as I am done doing that. All right, I'm back. I've taken my hair out of the rollers, obviously, and I finished up with 2 coats of the Almay One Coat Thickening Mascara. It is a nice mascara. I don't get any transfer from this, and it doesn't really flake on me. So for a drugstore, I think this is really a good mascara, and I love the brush on it. I also set my makeup with the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. So there you have it, my everything under $10. I will have everything listed and linked below for you. I am going to reach out to many of the people on YouTube that never get tagged, me being one of them. I think it's because they're the smaller guys on YouTube. But anyway, I'm going to list a bunch of people below that I would love to see do this tag, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what your favorite drugstore products are. Yes, your favorite drugstore products. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, subscribe. We're anti-aging here. Be happy, healthy, beautiful, and most of all, my friends, lovable. I love you all. Bisous.